Where do I even start? Is there like a compendium? Because Hamaguchi is like talking about New Game Plus and stuff like that. Like he's discussing so much that it's insane. We need to start.
I really think they're working on New Game Plus right now.
The juicy info. We're going to have to get into a big FF7 yap because since my interview, which, you know, is documented, my questions were so softballed, dude. Like I thought this was going to be a typical Japanese, like, kind of interview where normally they never talk about things that aren't announced yet. So I really wanted to dive into the inner meaning of why they did the things that they did and what's going on. I realized how softballed my interview questions were because I didn't want him to just say, sorry, can't answer that. Sorry, can't answer that. I wanted him to actually be able to answer stuff. And holy shit, I realize immediately as he starts talking to everybody else that he's just answering everything. And I'm like, I am such an idiot. No good questions at all. I'm glad they were okay at the time, but now there's so much more stuff. It's insane.
As we reunite with our heroes, the meteor looms in the skies above, a constant reminder of your mission and the grave threats you'll confront as you embark upon your journey.
Check Reset Era has a summary. I couldn't find it. What's the thread called?
Aboard the highway.
I have a link with a compendium of posts. How can I send it to you? Hit me up on Twitter or
take to the skies and witness our most expansive open world yet.
Twitter's probably the best bet.
Of Midgard, to the sun-drenched Medial archipelago, to the warrior nation of Wutai. Simply pick a direction and set sail.
Just at me on Twitter.
Expected to protect the whole world at once.
Shinra Archaeology on Blue Sky also has all of the info. Okay.
No way, no how.
Don't worry. These parachutes are top of the
You retweeted me a thread on Twitter. Thank you, Strife. Let me check it
You'll
out.
be floating through the air like a feather.
At any moment in the open world, simply pilot the high wind to your destination and take a leap of faith. With the wind rushing past, you'll descend seamlessly from the sky.
So, just talking about what we're seeing here, based on the information present, I think this is the first place you parachute into. I think like you can go to specific places and do specific things, but the game's going to sort of coerce you on like an objective. And the objective is going to be to land in the Medial archipelago, right? So Medial will probably be like the first goal. Talking from a bonkers theory standpoint, this happens like 5 to 6 hours into the game. Chat, just throwing out how
Dog,
crazy
that
this
is
could be.
early.
You're going to be separated from Cloud most likely in the story. When you go here, you eventually get to Medial, there's all these reports of a spiky-haired soldier and a sword. Tifa freaks out and hears about it, and you go and check on the dude, and who's in Medial, and it ain't Cloud. What if it's Zack?
Oh, oh, yeah. That lines up with my theory. Well, I'm not going to say my theory. That's more like a prediction. That lines up with my prediction that Zack is going to take Tifa's place in the live stream sequence because she was already in it. So if Zack catches up to the party, assuming he's in the same world as everybody else, then he will get that spot in the live stream sequence. And his, I guess you could say his testimony to what really happened on that day in Nibelheim is going to hit so much harder.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. This is on Quim. Okay, so Final Fantasy Forum. Holy hell. This
Jesus
is
Christ.
wonderful. Jesus Christ. Thank you to Forum. Damn, I love
QHim.com.
So,
dog.
yeah, like a ridiculous amount of interviews. This guy has been interviewed like crazy. He's just been yapping for 3 days straight.
It's all Hamaguchi shit. Like, dog, he's talking too much.
If you guys happen to miss, like, so let's just start going over it. If you happen to miss my stream, what you missed was confirmation of the old maps from Rebirth are going to look different. Yes, like we see this in some of the trailers when the characters are sort of like parachuting in screenshots. Yeah.
I got to make sure my screens are okay.
The world is already like twisted and deformed in some ways. Like, let me resize it.
What did he just highlight?
Twisted and deformed. So yeah, if we go back to the grasslands, if we go back to older locations like Gongaga, they even said like Gongaga has changed a lot. Like, so it's like, oh, wow, cool. So everything's going to be there. Like all that shit is there, but it's going to be different and you engage with it differently. The exploration is indisputably more expansive than Rebirth. Chocobos can fly around and freely explore vertically. They're operating within the same combat system for weapon battles. That's what they confirmed to me. Like, the combat isn't changing a ton in the core gameplay. The same combat system for weapon battles. They have unique mechanics and gadgets included in the battle. It's my hope that weapon battles will have unique gimmicks that Chadley apparently helps you out with. I hope it is the full realization of the Bahamut fight in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, where it's like the entire team is working together. Like, you know, chat, how there was always like a hope where it's like, oh man, I wonder if we can have all the characters like actually available to help us in a fight. And it seemed like that's not the case. The team is still a three-point character team with like your backline. That's like, yeah, okay. But dude, like actually utilizing the full team of the entire roster of Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, so what is the best opportunity to do that?
It's more like, are we still just controlling 3 characters and there's no assist system, there's no substitution system? We're limited to just 3, but there's ways where we can utilize the characters we're not using. There has to be. They have to do that. Outside of double teams and maybe triple teams, they haven't confirmed triple teams yet, but outside of those things, are we going to be able to use our other 5 characters at all in a fight?
And it's like, maybe that's in the weapon fights. I really hope so. That's not news. That's my hope. That is my hope. Each character has initially 4 fits and a skill tree. So each fit, like class, has abilities that you can learn in different costumes. More on costumes later. Chocobo breeding is now gone, and in favor of it, you're going to be helping Pico grow, which is
good.
Different. And I'm
good.
curious how it's going to be.
Good.
The day-night cycle will be story-focused on story progression, which I hope just means that we're not going to get as much stuff that is like always in the daytime. I hope there is more changes to the day-night cycle, because we see very little of it, dude. Like, it only happens like kind of like once at the beginning of the game when you're going from the Crystal Caves to Junon. So everything else is mostly daytime lighting until you go indoors.
It's just a minor detail that's supposed to add to immersion, which isn't a thing with me. I mean, if I want to immerse myself in a video game, I'll play VR. I'll just get some VR shit. If this is a regular console game, I really don't care a lot about immersion. It's just not a thing. I know I'm playing a video game. I would have to be so incredibly stoned to fully immerse myself in a game to the point where I'm not aware that I'm playing a game. That's not a thing.
Union was not on the list of 3 titles being considered. Nomura chose Revelation. Title Revelation is the answer for all questions that the players may have. The Sephiroth voice actor has been recast to Travis Willingham. We know that. The Black Materia is activated at the beginning of the game. This had to be clarified later on. There was a period of...
That has to be a gameplay thing. Cloud will have, darker abilities that reflect the Black Materia's nature.
Time, if you're confused about this, there was a period of time where we thought after day 1, like the game opens with Meteor is summoned and like Tifa and Barrett wake up in Junon. Like, what? Are we doing indirect storytelling here? This is clarified a bit later, that you get the high wind 5 to 6 hours in. And for anybody that knows, the attack on Junon leads to you getting the high wind. So
right.
There's a lot of stuff. There is several hours dedicated at the beginning of the game for events.
And that's going to be a big action set piece early in the game, because that whole sequence is action packed. It's action packed. Like, everybody's separated. You're controlling Barrett, I think. You're controlling Barrett, but Tifa's also with them. They capture Tifa and they strap her to that chair. You saw glimpses of it during the reveal. She's got the handcuffs on. You're going to have to play a mini game to get her loose. And from there, she climbs out through the roof because the weapon blasted a hole in it. So she climbs out through the roof and onto the sister ray. And that's where she meets Scarlet, and they had their little slap off. Meanwhile, Barrett picks up Kate Sith, and then they pick up Yuffie, and they're fighting soldiers, and then Oh, geez. Then they cut back to Tifa after she beats down Scarlet, and she runs off the sister ray, and then that's when the high wind pulls up, and it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. It's gonna look so much better.
To take place. They might just beeline, we'll talk about this in a bit, this was Nico's theory, they might just beeline forward the northern crater and have some other things saved for later. We'll see. Let's move forward. Chadley has a base and is conducting research on Meteor. Apparently this base is on the actual airship, right? Apparently this base is on the airship. Chadley has an important part related to the main story. More on Chadley later. If you're sounding nervous after hearing this, I understand you, but
not at all.
Later it gets better. From GameSpot, Vincent's able to transform into beast mode at any time, so you don't have to do crazy stuff.
Oh, cool.
Like a multi-transforming kind of character.
So it's not a limit break sort of thing.
Air combos. Building upon existing foundation, then evolving it is what they created. Ability to customize and play characters in different ways. It feels like the core combat mechanics are going to be kind of similar to Rebirth, but more ways to play. You know, like every character is going to have 4 different jobs that you can learn cool things on. So it's like, oh, okay. So it's like one character is kind of like 4 different characters. So more freedom to choose how you want to play each character instead of just attaching materia. So it's like, okay, that's a good idea. I think that's honestly a good idea because in my brain, I'm like, dude, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth already has so many mechanics. It's like a very mechanically dense game. It's practically a fighting game. How do you?
It's pretty deep.
There's only so many buttons on the controller, my dude. And it makes sense that
it's so much deeper than I thought it was going to be. Playing Remake the first time, it was so user-friendly. And at the same time, it was just more than just a little hack and slash. I mean, if I play it now, it's going to seem like, oh, well, this is so vanilla compared to Rebirth.
They're not really.
But it's going to get pretty deep.
In the menus before,
I expect it to get deep.
Choice. Actually, they get variations now. That's a good choice. Mini games are now optional. So now there's a skip button for mini games. I hope there is a reward for finishing them. I hope there is like a reason to finish them. I'm still going to play them all, of course, but for the people that don't want to have to deal with them, yeah, apparently they're going to be skippable. Homage?
Definitely you're going to want to play mini games for rewards. They might not tie mini games to the platinum this time around, but they're not just going to have mini games for nothing. They're not going to be there for nothing. There's going to be rewards that you're going to want.
Weapons and how to present and scale them. Interesting. Remake series concludes with Revelation. Yeah, we heard fans wanting to explore the side stories of other characters and or other parts of the story. It's interesting because we wanted to conclude this as soon as possible and efforts are focused on that. So they're talking about like DLC stuff. So
yeah.
They did not do that. They focused on part 3. So from Automaton, the trailer itself focuses a lot more on the game systems and what they're trying to express through the game itself, what you can actually do in the game and how deep it's going to go. The open world is now spanning the entire planet. Depending on what the player chooses to engage with first, the way their adventure unfolds can differ significantly. And
right. So just so I'm clear, there are not multiple endings in this game, but depending on where you go, you will still get story beats, though they won't be in the order, though they won't be in the same order as the original game. If you want to shoot for that, I'm sure that's a thing. You'll be able to do that. But there will be one path, I believe. There's going to be one path that you can go down. That's the canon path. Everything else is okay to play. There's no wrong way to do it. It's just that everybody is going to have a different path to the finish line. And I think that's a good way to go. That's a hell of a lot better than same path, multiple endings depending on choices. But now it's choices make your path different. It's cool. That sounds cool.
Boils back to the idea that there will likely be missable things, that there is incentivization to play Final Fantasy VII Revelation maybe multiple times, that you might not get
yeah.
You're like sharing information and trying to find stuff, which is what's eventually going to happen. If you play it straight shot, there's a very most likely a low likelihood that you're going to get everything.
Yeah, and there's going to be a trophy for going down every possibility. Every possible route you can take to the ending will be a trophy. For all we know, there could be 7. There could be 7. 7 different paths. You go to such and such town first, Bone Village first, and then Rocket Town or whatever, you know. It's going to be interesting.
discover every boss or do all that kind of stuff. So it's like, all right, the entire world is connected from the start. Fly the high wind anywhere. And
I keep pausing, but it's more like write your own story as opposed to write your own ending, you know?
just to speak on this personally, I still thought the Highwind, Junon, and the Northern Crater events,
Entire world's connected from the start.
I thought they were
Fly anywhere.
in the middle of the game. It would be more of like the most dour part of the experience. Chat, no joke. They are frontlining the weirdest part, one of the most mysterious parts of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm sorry, Revelation, to the beginning of the game. So the beginning of the game, because we have to get the Highwind, which is post the crater, after the black materia is delivered, all that kind of stuff, that is being beelined to the front, which has the most mystery. And they don't want Cloud to probably be delusional for too long. So it's like the first 5 hours of the game, Cloud's going to be a delusional dickhead losing his mind, eventually, you know, succumbing to Sephiroth and shit. And then the party's going to get completely like screwed up. So yeah, they probably did not want you running around as Psycho Cloud for too long, but that leaves bigger questions. What about the Icicle Inn? What about the Icicle Inn? What about snowboarding? What about the caves?
There's pretty significant lore at Icicle Inn.
Like all the stuff that leads to that part of the game. I think that's really cool. It feels like a big adventure. Nico, who had a great idea, maybe they just are front loading the Northern Crater at the start. Possibly the Tiny Bronco crashes or something and gets you really close, and then it's all about all the crazy reveals. And then later on in the game, when you have to go back up there, that's when you revisit some of those locations. So I don't know. We'll see how they fit all this stuff in, because if you're getting the Highwind at like 5 to 6 hours in, stuff got to happen, you know? Hamaguchi games to reference and draw inspiration. Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Hogwarts, Horizon, and Crimson Desert. Wow. I think Elden Ring is also talked about later too. Revelations includes all the continents from Rebirth. Each area contains its own unique activity, gameplay mechanics, and interactive elements. Depending on where the player chooses to go first, their experience can end up being very different.
There it is.
Major changes across the world. See, this is also why they need to front load so much of the Northern Crater elements, because the world is changing. Like, they don't want you going back to the world and it's the exact same thing as it was before. No. Weapons is a world event, and it happens very early in the game. And then once that world event happens, now you get access to see how different the world is. So it's like, okay, this is starting to make sense. The beginning of the game is going.
That's brilliant.
Even though visually, atmosphere, setting remain pretty familiar, the world map is preserved itself. You get to travel on long.
I mean, it's also common sense.
Pico grows, the way you explore and change the world, parachute from the Highwind, and interact with the environment in more vertical ways. Yeah, I wonder if they also confirm that every character gets the same fits or jobs, where it's like Black Mage, Warrior, whatever 4 they end up being. I wonder if they actually are the same for everybody, you know? I wonder, or if they're unique, you know? Maybe Cloud gets 4 different ones than Tifa's 4. No restriction on game design due to multi-platform. So the game's being designed for every platform. Weapon battles as a natural extension of the regular combat system. A natural extension. If this means that we get full party weapon battles, and that's when you engage weapons, like, now everybody's involved. Like, how do you balance that out? Is it going to be like the end of Rebirth when everybody's fighting Genova? Going to be like that? Or is it going to be an entire new system? Full party, like everyone, like everybody.
I hope it's a whole new system.
Exactly. Like Advent Children. Let's let everyone use their unique abilities to take down these big monsters. Hell yes, we literally see it happen in Advent Children. Trilogy's final theme is resolve and choice. More sections of the game where players' choices are crucial, so they can alter not only how they progress, but even the direction of the storytelling itself. Wow, dude, what? That honestly sounds like the end of the game. That sounds like specifically the end of the game in the OG FF7, where a specific legendary scene can either happen or not happen. Experience changes based on your choices, yet things ultimately converge towards the single conclusion. Okay, so there's no multiple endings. Like, some different things can happen, but there's no multiple endings. There's like no date thing, you know? Experiences that can completely differ from one player. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Especially on, like, I didn't really notice these things on Rebirth's first playthrough. I just loved it. But on multiple playthroughs, yes, I noticed this, where it's like, yeah, everyone kind of plays this game the same. What does that mean? You're a little confused? More that Rebirth as a game was designed to take you from point A to point B and show you all the bullet points in between. When you're here, here's all the stuff you can do. Are you going to do it? Are you going to 100% the grasslands? You're going to 100% Junon. What are you going to do? Are you going to move forward? So the game was very much hand-holding you to show you how much you can do in the world. Like, it went out of its way to show you how much stuff they have, right? Which became a little overbearing. So in this one, that's not going to be the case anymore. They now get access to everything. That is much closer to the original Final Fantasy VII when you get the airship. There's kind of just like, what can we do now? Yeah, it's like Elden Ring. I'm just going to go run over here. I'm going to go run to Caelid and die. You got to find out about that. You got to find some bonkers island where a bunch of cactuses immediately kill you. Yeah, that's cool. That shit is cool. Definitive conclusion. No multi-end. Taking off my wedding ring for this. Fucking... hell yes, dude. I'm so happy.
Awesome.
Choices player make on the journey towards the conclusion will affect their individual experience as well as the stories told through side content, but you don't have to engage with minigames if you don't want to. Minigame rewards are now largely unrelated to combat progression. Instead, they offer things like, oh!
Skins.
Oh, no! Oh!
Skins and customization options.
Even...
That kind of stuff is cool. It's cool, but if I don't get stronger, then it's just nothing but a completion thing, which I don't have a problem with. It's just more stuff to do on the road to completion. The goal from day one was to complete the whole series. Rebirth was a pain in the ass because there was stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff to do on the road to completion. Revelation doesn't sound like it's much different. I mean, on its face. On its face, it sounds like, okay, this is cool. We get to play around with it a bit more, but it's ultimately just more completion stuff that's cosmetic. It doesn't sound like it's worth doing, but we'll see. Character skins and fits, I think those are two completely different things. Fits offer utility and battle stuff. Skins is just purely cosmetic, just outfits for the sake of outfits, and I'm not a big fan of that. Customization options, I think fits goes along with that.
Better, dude. I was just like, dude, if we get to skip the mini games, then what are we going to get out of it? You're not going to give us like game progression because we're not, because you can skip it, dude. Fashion
rewards,
literal skins. Dude, I will play so much Gears and Gambits to get an Advent Children skin. The minigame difficulty settings are added. Battle progression and the like are tied more closely to combat-oriented side content.
That's
now
cool.
It's more focused. When you do combat stuff, you get combat rewards.
Yes,
okay.
that's cool.
Pretty early on, and from that point, you essentially go wherever the hell you want. You might wonder, and I think as an example, this
Sky above to the ground below.
This is
Where will the
you're always going to have, like, everyone says where they should go, but the player can have the choice of where they want to go. I think the scene we're looking at right here is literally like the first drop, and this is where probably the narrative would be. Like, if you want to move the narrative forward, yeah, you should be going to Mediel, which is about right. That's pretty much what the OG FF7 is anyway. Once you get access to the Highwind, I'm trying to remember, I don't think you're kind of instructed to go anywhere. It's sort of like, look,
do whatever.
What the hell's this place, you know? Original Final Fantasy VII is such a god tier game. It's actually super linear, but it does an insane job of hiding that linearity. There's not a ton you can actually do and explore, but it gives you the impression that you have like everything at your fingertips.
Yeah, they make you think it's super open. Once you get the airship, you're just flying all over the globe, checking out the world and how much it's changed since the weapons emerged and and Meteor got summoned. Every place is super different. It's a whole different tone everywhere you go, and there's side quests, and it's pretty much do all this cleanup before you proceed to the Northern Crater and ultimately finish the game. That's all Disc 3 was.
Is fucking amazing. It's very easy to screw that up, is what I'm saying. It was probably completely by accident. Still, it's the way the old game feels, man. It's very nice. You might wander and get completely demolished. Hell yeah, dude. North Crater becomes inaccessible for a period of time because a weapon appears there. Ooh. So there's no longer like a barrier up there. After the Northern Crater event, there's like a crazy barrier. Now they're going to stick a weapon over it. It's probably going to be Ultima Weapon.
Yeah.
Some locations you can't access because of story reasons.
And it won't fly all over the place. Like whenever you're ready to challenge it, it's right there. Remember the old game where you have to fly all over the place to find Ultimate Weapon, and when you do, you have to beat it up. You don't kill it right away. You have to like fight them like 3 or 4 times, and after the final time, it explodes, and there's this big like crater in the earth where you beat it. But I guess this time they'll just put him right over the northern crater, and whenever you're ready to challenge him, boom, he'll be there, and he'll always be at the same spot.
There is more vertical exploration. You might pick up a quest in one area and then travel to a completely other area to actually move it forward. And if you've already visited an area, you can fast travel to reach it. And they're also in the final polishing stages right now. The title implies that hidden truths will be revealed. Okay. The key unifying term is resolve from the developers and the players and the characters. The game features an even larger world that experience itself changes depending on the player's choice. New locations include Rocket Town, Wutai, Medial. Areas that appeared in FF7 Rebirth are slightly changed. The terrain has changed. We got confirmation of this already. Pico grows. We got that. Highwind enables seamless travel around a continuous world map where reaching one edge brings the player to the other, like the OG. Hell yes, dude. Players can descend from the Highwind from a parachute. Fast travel, yeah. Highwind serves as the base of operations for Cloud and the party. Features both a flying mode and an indoor mode.
You can go inside it.
Collected throughout the adventure are displayed inside the Highwind. All of the bullshit you get, the collectible stuff you get at the Johnny's Inn. The buggy does not return, but similar truck-like vehicles are available.
Cool.
Where did we leave the buggy? Ditch the buggy in the Gongaga Beach, and we never went back. Rocket Village is filled with precision machinery. For that reason, a no chocobos sign is seen. Wow. Vehicles can... What? This is so... Vehicles can be used in Rocket Village instead of chocobos. Vincent primarily fights with gun. Okay, yeah, beast mode, we know about that. We know about Sid's spear stuff.
Okay. Okay, so Vincent is mainly a ranged character. Yeah, primarily fights using guns, but when he's in Galleon Beast mode, he's strictly melee. I was hoping they do, a revamped Dirge of Cerberus version of him where he can shoot his guns, but he can also melee with his claw. So no, he'll just be another ranged character. That's cool.
Are available as soon as you get fits, right? Outfits affect character parameters, add skills are available. Yeah, beast mode, we know about that. We know about Sid's spear stuff. 4 outfits are available as soon as you get fits, right? Outfits affect character parameters, add skills, abilities, effects are tailored to each outfit's unique characteristics. Outfit growth rates are shared among all characters. Oh, so this makes it...
Oh, does that mean that when we get these fits, they're for all characters? We don't have to get a Black Mage outfit for Tifa, one for Cloud, one for Barrett, one for Vincent, one for Sid. We don't have to do all that. They just share the same outfit. He already said that there's skill trees for every fit. Say you unlock a few nodes with Tifa as a Black Mage, but then you put that Black Mage fit on Cloud. Does Cloud inherit that skill tree, and he picks up where Tifa left off?
Seem like the fits are 4 set fits for every character. That's what it seems like. So it's not like one character doesn't get Black Mage. No. There's like a shared experience for the whole party. So
okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
They didn't make like...
That's cool. That also saves a bunch of time and effort. I mean, like there's 8 characters. 8 times 4. That's 32 fits. That's 32 different jobs for every character. No, one fit and all the characters share them. That's good.
16 different jobs. No, that might be a bit too much.
That's too much.
Allows players to keep an original character's appearance while using fits. They have glam. This is some good shit, dude. Additional characters.
What do you say that you can character skin features allows players to keep a character's original appearance. I like that. Because I'll be rocking the original outfits the whole time. I'm not a big fan of outfits and skins.
Skins are acquired throughout the journey. One way is through minigames, they said. Weapon skin features allow players to select preferred weapon appearance. We talked about this like a month ago. I'm like, give me every weapon, dude. I want the hard edge. Imagine a thing now where you're not gonna get the hard
you can do that.
edge, like,
you can do that for weapons too. Weapon skin feature allows players to select preferred weapon. Okay, so that's some Ever Crisis shit. That's some Ever Crisis stuff. No matter what weapon I'm using with whatever character, I always switch to their classic weapon as a skin because it just looks better.
An appearance. We talked about this like a month ago. I'm like, give me every weapon, dude. I want the hard edge.
Just give me the classic shit.
Where you're not going to get the hard edge directly, but maybe Cloud gets like 7 swords. You can make one look like the hard edge if you want.
Yeah.
Weapons. So it's
yeah,
like
that's
the
cool.
Nail bat. The nail bat should come back, dude. Like, where is it? I want everything to look like the Buster Sword. I really, really, really hope that weapon skins are a thing. Where it's like, yeah, now every character gets like a bunch of different skins on the weapons from the other game. The first 2 games all technically come back in some way. Weapon battles include unique mechanics. We got that. Weapon encounters are distinct. Yeah, we got that. Knights of the round will be available. No shit. Choice will affect the overall game. So let's see if there's anything new here. Nomura decided the title. Final stages in development. Considering a playable demo at TGS or around that time.
Ooh.
You can use a parachute to descend and fast travel back to the Highwind immediately, returning to flying mode.
Oh, that's how you get back.
That's how you get back up to the
Yeah, that's how you get
Interior
back.
of Highwind will be updated according to your progress. The crew's conversations will change given the quests. In the story, after each story arc ends, a briefing is held on the Highwind to discuss what's next. Oh, that's cool as shit.
Yeah, it is.
Fly freely everywhere, various islands. Of course, there are areas off limits, but basically you can just fly anywhere. They kept all the previous areas. You'll be traveling with a single chocobo, which is Pico. Vertical exploration is very possible now. You can fly above with a parachute instead of using a chocobo, and it's up to you. You can enjoy exploring various locations right from the start. Side content can be tackled at any time you want to do it, which is also great.
Nice.
Weapons
Can't miss anything.
that are not involved in the story can be challenged at any time.
Nice.
Just there. Super bosses are just hanging out, and they're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
There are, of course, some moments where we say, for now, please follow the story on this continent. So the structure is pretty similar to the previous game.
Yeah.
Than even the OG FF7. Sometimes you kind of get story locked in certain spots. In this game, however, once you get the Highwind early on, you can just freely explore all the areas using the Highwind. You might find that one area is easy and the next one's mad hard. The idea is to pick and choose what you want to do. The amount of content is equal to or greater than the previous game. No time limit on Vincent Beast. Yeah. Sid 4 types of fits. Zack will make appearances at key points in the game. Guest characters will join Zack as playable characters.
Yeah, we kind of knew that already.
Hell are we talking? Oh,
We kind of knew that.
dude. Maybe we're saying too much. Zack's screen time greater than before to convey and tell the story of slightly different worldview and setting compared to the original version. Mamaguchi, you gotta shut up, man.
He's talking too much.
Stop talking.
In fact, I think I covered this interview.
Has a very politically charged storyline. Midgar area will also be featured. Deep Ground and people involved with it might appear there. I saw in another quote that, like, maybe you'll run into Weiss or Nero. Like, what? Rocket Town will be possible to visit towards the end of the story. This
Yeah, what?
initially, it said that they moved Rocket Town to the end of the story when talking about Rebirth, and that it's the Rocket Town is featured in part 3. It was more of a mistranslation that they moved Rocket Town from the middle of the game, which was the OG, to the end part of the game, which is technically Rebirth to Revelation. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I think Rocket Town still accessible near the beginning of the game.
Should be.
In the third game. But
Rocket Town isn't
it
that big a
obviously
deal.
disappeared in the second. You know, I think this was a weird translation. I read the full quote for this. It was a little funky. Underwater World.
Oh, submarine. Damn it.
The story.
Of course they're going to have the
Level
submarine.
system this time, the focus isn't solely on him, but the side content, which character each user wants to delve deeper into and learn more about. Dude, this is sounding like Chrono Trigger. The way it says like side content is handled for characters, this almost sounds very Chrono Trigger-y. Of like, you want to learn more about them, then go on their quests, dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
Number have not been reduced, but skipped. Many games not linked to battle progression and trophies. Character skins that
That's
are
cool.
related to battle strategy. Conversely, we grouped the battle elements that players really wanted to do into battle-oriented side content. Tifa versus Scarlet slap fight. is
Yes.
present, of course
Yes.
it is. Yeah, and some of this isn't exactly like, some of it has changed. There's like further clarification on a few elements.
Oh man, he said one thing
Fight
though.
is present, of course it is. Yeah, and some of this isn't. Conversely, we grouped the battle elements.
Mini games not linked to battle progression control. Yeah, we knew that.
That players really wanted to do into battle-oriented side content. Tifa versus Scarlet slap fight is present. Of course it is. Yeah, and some of this isn't exactly like, some of it has changed. There's like further clarification on a few elements. Hold on a second. World map expanded. Developers want players to decide where to go instead of a strictly linear path. There will be many locations players can visit immediately using the Highwind. The world functions like a globe because allowing the Highwind to land anywhere proved technically difficult. The players will deploy via parachute. All regions from Rebirth return, including Gongaga, although many areas will not be identical to their previous versions. Midgar is a fully explorable area.
Wow.
Assuming fully explorable as in all the locations we kind of visited before. Time to visit Jesse's mom.
That makes sense.
My dude, you should sit down first. Tai will be fully depicted and expanded compared to the original game. When exploring Midgar, players may encounter characters connected to Deep Ground.
Sweet.
Yeah, specifically saying you could encounter characters such as Weiss and Nero when discussing the exploration of Midgar. Brother. Rocket Town is compared to appear in Revelation and will be visited later on in the story. We'll see about this one. The team considered Rocket Town for Rebirth before deciding it would be fit better for Part 3 and Underwater. Player choices have a much greater impact in Rebirth than in Rebirth. Your decisions affect progress, unlock different story content, and influence how parts of the narrative unfold. Holy shit. That said, he does not believe...
Now, when they say different story content, are they talking about stuff that could add context to the ending, or just little conversations, like bonus conversations that aren't really here nor there?
That the remake trilogy should end with multiple endings, and yeah, confirm we only got one ending. However, because the game places so much more emphasis on player choice and its consequences, different players are going to experience different events, different scenes, and different story developments throughout their playthrough. Like, there's a lot of different stuff to see that you'll just be missing stuff on your first playthrough.
Yeah.
The main story progression itself follows a predetermined order. So Zach's got a larger role.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about in the previous video. Main story progression itself follows a predetermined order. You have the freedom to pretty much do whatever you want and shape your own path, but the main story itself is predetermined. Like, there's one canon path.
His role is to help players understand that the world and circumstances of the remake trilogy are not exactly the same as the original Final Fantasy VII. The Turks will receive significantly more focus and development in Revelation.
Cool.
Temporary guest characters.
Love the Turks.
New stories about locations and events. There will be new stories about locations and events that were only briefly explored in the original Final Fantasy VII. Now that is cool. Getting some actual good resolution to like Lucrezia stuff would be mad cool. The Gi, yeah. The affinity system from Rebirth is being replaced due to the different structure and focus of Revelation's story. Rebirth on Cloud's relationships with other characters, and Revelation will place greater emphasis on developing the cast as a whole. Players will have more opportunities to learn more about certain characters, and the theme reflects both Cloud as and his companions preparing for the final battle, and the developer's determination to conclude the remake trilogy. Everything is about resolve. The dev team has spent
There's so much
time discussing adapt Knights of the Round, and they're currently working on content that lives up to the Summon's legendary reputation. The game is currently playable from start to finish, even with side content. So that's pretty sick. They've been saying this for a while. They're going to get an entire year of just straight polish. Game is content complete right now. A whole year plus, most likely, of just
mini games not being reduced. Difficulties being adjusted so that players who struggled with them in Rebirth can enjoy them more easily. Mini games will feature easy and normal difficulty. New option allows players to skip certain mini games. Tifa versus Scarlet. Yeah, okay.
Polishing the shit out of it. That is a good amount of time. And that, honestly, it probably needed because it's a multi-platform release. Multi-platform games need way more polish, just in general. You just get some really funky version. What's so special about Knights of the Round? It's pretty much the most legendary summon in Final Fantasy history. It's insane. Like, and it's out of nowhere. Like, for those of you that don't know what Knights of the Round is, it's the most powerful attack in OG FF7. It's the hardest thing to get in the game. It takes a ridiculously long side quest for you to get it, and it's epic as fuck. I'll just show you.
I never got it.
You get it.
I just didn't have the patience for that shit.
Knights of the Round. It doesn't even really fit in the world. It doesn't make sense, but it's insanely cool. Take this.
Like, it's worth your time to get Knights of the Round because it could make FF7REV significantly easier.
It doesn't even like thematically make sense in the world. You got all these like ye old knights that show up with their magic powers and shit. And you're like, nothing in the game is kind of like this. It's just insanely cool. "13 knights," right? Is it 13?
Ugh.
Gilgamesh kinda, but not really. Gilgamesh is like Japanese lore. Each knight has a different design entirely, different weapon. It's just insane, dude.
It's crazy.
It just keeps going. Chad, this was 1997. People were losing their fucking minds. People were losing their fucking minds. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice type shit are just gonna waste some lizards. Yeah, it's honestly one of the most memorable things in FF7 in general. You're like, oh, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. We weren't exaggerating. It's mad cool. Game's already running on Switch too. The Game Fest trailer, all this stuff, PlayStation 5. Apparently. Probably PS5 Pro.
That freedom is in your hands.
Yeah, all this is PS5.
Gonna get fully wrecked at the Happy Turnout!
It said PC though. I mean, I get it, but now they're saying it's PS5. I don't know what to tell you. I thought it was PC as well. They're prioritizing polishing the PS5 and PC versions before the additional Switch 2 optimization. And there you go. I don't know if there's many other big news topics to cover. This shit is actually unbelievable, in my opinion. I cannot believe that they are addressing and directly like answering so many of the thwhat that we have been asking for. Like, there's very little that already from like, this is the first 10% of the game. Understand that. Like, what they're exposing us to is also the very, very, very first parts of the game. And because of that, like, if you look at the Highwind, just throwing it out there, the Highwind has guns on it. Like, it actually has a laser at the front and it has guns, like machine guns. So I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Like, I still think there are aspects of this that we're not seeing yet. Again, it's the first reveal. I think there's going to be air battles in some way. They're just throwing it out there. It always seemed like you're going to engage. And they talked about this before, that like, the way the Highwind engages the player is going to be a lot different than before. I don't think that's just parachuting. I don't think it's just parachuting. I think that there might be some aerial battle engagement in some way. So maybe with weapons, maybe against Shinra. I don't know, man. But like, how cool would it be to like upgrade the Highwind and get more artillery on it and shit like that? Like Skies of Arcadia style aerial battles? Brother. What else is there? What else have been? Oh yeah, Queen's Blood. There was new Queen's Blood information. Queen's Blood is obviously coming back, and also the main character of Queen's Blood this time is going to be Red 13, where Red, like it was Cloud before, is the one that was leading Queen's Blood, and it's like been revamped, and Red 13 is the dude behind the protagonist. So we're going to be following the dog as he becomes better at card games. Kind of funny. What is...
Dude, I like the menus a lot better this time around.
That quote about Chadley, dude.
They're not so bright.
Anybody have that one? Hold up. Yeah, them talking about how Chadley engages the player is different than before. Brother. Where was that? Did Audrey have that? I think she did. Revelation Director Hamaguchi confirms that Knights of the Round will be a boss battle you will need to fight in order to obtain the summon.
Okay.
Doubt,
Yeah.
but it is sure going to be epic.
As
Here's a
fuck.
GameSpark interview in Japanese.
Dude, what if it's...
Oh, yeah. You mean...
Dude, what if it's all of them at the same time? And you... Dude, they need to implement a full party system where you can use everybody. Everybody. Even if you only keep control of 3 characters at a time, they need to make it so you can at least issue commands to your other 5 party members. Because if you're fighting the Knights of the Round in their entirety, you need your whole party to dude, that would be sick. What I hope they don't do is you fight each one by themselves. You fight each one by themselves. And it's probably still going to be a hard fight when it's like 3-on-1 or whatever they decide to do with the party system mechanics.
And you kind of have to fight summons to get them in FF7. This should be hard as fuck. Director Hamaguchi says that the cosmetic outfits from Rebirth are available at the beginning for the fit system. Immediate transmog. The interview asks, even a swimsuit, which Hamaguchi responds, yes, the swimsuit will also be available. Jesus Christ. Very nice. Good. That they will indeed have a snowboarding minigame and that it will be available at the Gold Saucer, but they also have prepared an appropriate setting in the story where it will show up as well.
Traversal? They're kind of knock shit out, though.
Our order. So they're telling
They kind of knock shit out of order, yeah.
Initially available at Gold Saucer, and then it'll show up like later at an appropriate moment in the story. This lines up where we think that a lot of the journey to the Northern Crater is going to be saved for the finality of the game, like near the end. So possibly this stuff is moved, where it's like Icicle Inn and all that stuff. The theory is that all the characters are in a plane right now, right? They're in the tiny Bronco, and they're flying to the Northern Crater. That's their goal. We're theorizing, and Nico came up with this, that we're going to shortcut the story to the Northern Crater, like right at the start. So we're going to have to skip Icicle Inn. We're going to have to skip snowboarding. We're going to have to skip a lot of the snow adventure stuff in the ice caves. They get skipped for now to get us on a shortcut towards the most narratively captivating intro. Are they gone? They're not gone. Why would snowboarding appear at the Gold Saucer? It's opposite in the old game. You do the glacier and all that stuff first and then Gold Saucer stuff. I think, throwing it out there, not confirmed, they're going to set up a lot of this stuff for the latter part of the game, where it's an adventure that goes north. You have included a snowboarding minigame that it will appear
Makes sense.
Saucer, but they also prepared an appropriate setting in the story where it'll show up as well. Why would he describe it like that? Why would he describe that like Golden Saucer has a minigame, but we're also going to stick it at a part of the story? So to me, it seems like, oh, the snowboarding part has moved. The Gold Saucer is where you can reliably go to engage a snowboarding minigame. Oh, okay. That's what it seems like to me. I really think they're moving a lot of the journey to the Northern Crater to maybe the second one. They need to get us into the Highwind as soon as fucking possible. Here's the problem with it, chat, is that you think they're going to cram in the first 5 hours, Icicle Inn, snowboarding, the snow landscape, the maze, the icicle caves, and also all the events of the Northern Crater, and also the entire attack on Junon. And also learning how airships work. You think they're going to cram that all into 5 hours? I think that almost is a disservice to many of those areas. So I think they're not doing that. I think they're cutting it out to move it. We're gonna like similar what they did with Rocket Town. They're going to cut it out of this part so that you can get a fully explorable thing over here, you know? And that's in this game. I think it's kind of the same thing, because it also makes a lot of sense if like Icicle Inn and you learn all about Ifalna and you learn all about gas. First hour is going to be tutorial. Yeah, exactly. I think literally the tutorial prologue is the Northern Crater. I think you learn how to use all this stuff and all that shit in the Northern Crater with the party available to you. It starts to make a lot of goddamn sense to me. Anyway, yeah, you can obtain the Highwind.
I mean, kinda.
4 to 5 hours in, bro. It's not even 5 to 6. 4 to 5 hours.
That's very early. That's very early in the game.
Yeah. Look.
I won't return to my coffin until we've put Sephiroth in his.
It looks like some part of that shit. You can explore the world freely as you choose. You can follow the main story objectives. You can choose to explore whatever you want in an area until you probably reach a point where the enemies become too hard. Some players would then progress to the main story and then come back another time when others might decide to challenge those harder enemies. How you play is entirely up to you. He says that it will probably be impossible to experience everything in your first playthrough.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'll have to play through the game yourself to see if it follows the... Hey, you're going to have to play the game to see if it follows the OG or deviates. I think it'll do both. He goes on to mention that every character in the game is...
I think they're going to keep doing what they were doing in the first two games. You're going to go through long stretches of time where you're playing what you remember. Some spots expanded on, and then it's going to flow into new shit. But then it's going to flow back into what you remember. That's why I'm so excited about how they're going to write this if certain parts are getting moved back, because of the flow. The way it's going to flow, it's going to feel like it's new, but it's going to be familiar. If you know the story of FF7, you know how the story flows. When you're playing Revelation, it's going to feel new, but it's going to ultimately be familiar at the same time. Before anything else is going to be familiar. That's how dedicated they are to keeping things aligned with the original. That's the number one priority, but it has to feel fresh and new, and I think they're going to do a very good job of doing that.
Their own fans who love the support for 30 years. This is why he wants to strongly deliver something to fans that make them feel that following the character of the world was worth it. Whether that feeling will come from the ending or the overall game experience, he hopes you just enjoyed the ride. His main goal is to allow fans, whether from the OG, started from remake series, only to feel a sense of, I'm glad I was supporting the series all along. Cool. Everything sounds great. God damn! Everything sounds great. I'm so fucking excited, man.
Of experimentation at the hands of Shinra. Vincent can transform into the Galleon beast at the press of a button, gaining tremendous power while transformed. And when combined with the skills of a certain ace pilot, their high
Can you change back?
ferocious results.
Cool.
Pretty sure you can change back when you want to.
Yeah, see? There's also a shot.
Dashing Dragoon, the one and only Sid Highwind.
Sid Highwind, the cantankerous pilot.
It's like Sid's introducing himself at the Northern Crater. Like he went down with the ship and everybody else jumped out or something.
Allows him to rapidly close the distance for powerful strikes or engage in
Sid looks crazy.
effect attacks to bring a whole host of enemies to heel. But to fully control the battlefield, skill with the
Are we,
weapon
at what point are we afraid they spoil too much? The final trailer. We don't watch the final trailer.
only gets you so far. To further augment your combat
Ooh,
capabilities.
I got a decision to make on that. We're months away from that, though.
Oscar Chadley here? This looks like a base of operation. Here's a couple of weird theories. This looks like a base of operation that Chadley makes on the ship.
Seamlessly switch between party members. These summoned entities that can turn.
Like,
Fit stuff.
we'll
there.
probably get another trailer
This location
before the Game
like
Awards.
chairs and
Either at the Game Awards or before that.
piano. Ancient forest? I don't know. Benora, somewhere in Medial? Where the hell is this shit? Bone Village? Oh, that's another big reveal that Bone Village is sadly not making it. 14 into the reveal trailer?
You don't do much at Bone Village.
A shadow fell.
You get the Lunar Harp. You play a mini game that gives you the Lunar Harp, and I forget what that even does, but I don't think it's relevant to anything.
Union. By his will, a star fell. A meteor.
No, I think that's just the regular one. Nah, that's not younger Sephiroth. This hair's too long. Good looking out, though. You just realized the static it's showing, but it's zooming in on Sephiroth, not Cloud. What?
By his will, a star.
Is Sephiroth seeing the static? I mean, he shouldn't. He shouldn't.
A star.
He saw the static in Ever Crisis.
It's weird.
Genova was doing a number on him early,
Bring ruin to all.
like before all the Crisis Core stuff.
You're here. At the end of the short trailer, when they say the journey ends here, it plays the opening theme from a remake at that time.
But our planet answered. Awakening mighty weapons to stand against the celestial.
I think that's Ultimate Weapon right there.
Now, weapons
I
to
didn't see it at first.
the celestial
I didn't see it at first, but I think that's Ultimate Weapon.
awakening mighty weapons to stand against the celestial.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard.
Now,
That whole fight's going to go hard, bro.
those who fight.
Yeah, so Vincent's with them there.
Long story short, the world's in trouble.
Wait, was
Has been.
Vincent with them? Or was it just Sid? Oh yeah, Vincent is missing here.
Fight.
Sid's just the one there.
Probably went ahead to do some recon.
The world's in trouble. Has been for a while.
So what are we waiting for? Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime.
Chat. Also, the trailer tries to deceive you here. I mean, shout out to the trailer makers. But they show every character jumping off, and then they show like in-game shot of Cloud jumping off as well.
Oh, right. Because Cloud isn't with the party at this point until after he gets his identity back. Yeah, good catch.
They're trying to make it seem like he's part of the party here.
No, at this point, he's gotten his identity back. So they try to throw you off.
You're mine. I'll make this quick. Good night. The sky.
That poor fucking bird. That poor goddamn bird. Do you think Fit is actually another customization option, or is it an AI fight style director? No. Fit is a job. They give you different abilities. You level it up. Like you get things. Like it doesn't just change costume. Costume is one part of it. You can also change the costume to be whatever you want. The Fit thing is a job. So characters' abilities, their natural abilities change.
Sky's the limit.
I can do this. I'll make you proud.
But you still have materia on top of the Fit.
Some bonkers new thing that Cloud gets specifically on, what is it, Warrior or Fighter or something like that?
Just ain't your day.
Oh my, is that a weapon I see?
Yeah, the Fit system and costumes are different. Costumes and skins are actually different.
As far as I can tell, these things don't distinguish between friend and foe.
Save the planet by killing her protectors.
Man, dog, Ruby looks sick.
Let us put your faith to the test, Cloud.
Sephiroth's doing the Leon here. He's sitting, he's doing the Leon pose. And then he's offering the white materia. There's another part of the next trailer. Why does it look like Sephiroth is offering us the white materia? How does he have holy? Also, I'm just gonna throw it out.
Long story.
Ancient beasts that are large before it's too late. As the world is torn apart, you and your friends must unite. In Revelation, we come to the thrilling conclusion of the Final Fantasy VII saga, and your mission is clear. Take up your Buster Sword, equip your materia, and
So here's the shot. I think that this actually might be... Yeah, this is a different time of day. So we thought that this shot could represent... Here, this also supports our quote-unquote theory, chat, where the game starts. It's at nighttime, right? They show us getting to the Northern Crater at nighttime. This is them effectively ditching the high wind with parachutes, and they're landing at somewhere closer to like the Northern Crater or the ice area. So it's like warm, it's different feeling, you know, than the Northern Crater is at night. So this is likely the end of the game. This might be much later. You're making the journey up to the Northern Crater and all that kind of stuff. So maybe this is where they stick in the all the other stuff. They actually stick in the Icicle Inn. They stick in the snowboarding, all that kind of shit. Maybe it's a bit later.
stand together.
It could be at the start. It could be.
One
But it looks kind of optimistic.
last time.
Okay, so obviously that's a Genova fight. That's a Genova fight. Because I think there's two down the stretch. I think there's a Genova fight in a cave, and then there's one in the Northern Crater before you get to Bizarro's Sephiroth. But this Genova looks like it doesn't have a head, which means this could probably be final Genova. Yeah, I can see it. That looks crazy, bro. Because she doesn't have a head. That could be the final Genova fight.
It could be at the start. It could be.
One
But it looks kind of optimistic.
last time.
Yeah, the new Sephiroth voice is going to take some getting used to, but I just have to like see him talking. We haven't seen that yet. We heard him in like a voiceover.
The high wind's got a hype beam.
I did you on Twitter about the one-winged angel motif in the trailer with Samurai dodges the cannon shot. Oh yeah, we know about that. So further confirmation that what's happening here, things are different than the original game. The weapon dodges the shot. In the OG game, it gets blasted in the
like
yeah. Move. Also, it plays the Sephiroth theme after the weapon attacks and dodges the shot. Sephiroth is in control of the weapons. That's the implication here. Very different than the original. Like, it's looking bad. It's looking very bad. 4K. This looks like it's rendered in 8K, dude. I don't know. This looks very high resolution. Are we satisfied if a Tifa player wins Capcom Cup? I think it'll probably be coordinated. So cool that you can see Midgar in its like totality over here now. Look at us zoom in on these assets. God damn. So yeah, the environment's different now. There's more information on Twitter as well, bruh. Bruh. I'm so fucking ready.
As we reunite with our heroes.
I'm gonna have to go to Japan. Tokyo Game Show? I gotta go to Tokyo Game Show to play this shit? I didn't have to go to Tokyo Game Show to play this in Virtua Fighter before. There was playable FF7 in September of 2023 when we played Rebirth. They definitely had playable for us even many years ago now, like 3 years ago now. Tamaguchi said Gamescom and PAX as well.
The meteor looms in the skies above, a constant reminder of your mission.
Strife, thank you.
And the grave threats you'll confront as you embark upon your journey.
Who am I?
And face the epic conclusion of the remake.
Oh, bro. Okay.
Yeah, speak on this.
Talk about this?
Speak on this, please.
Hey. Can we talk about this? This is the shot I was looking for.
Front as you embark upon your journey and face the epic conclusion.
Why is Sephiroth caressing Cloud's face outside of it being like Giga Gauge? Why? Which character in Final Fantasy VII historically puts their hands on Cloud's face constantly? It's Aerith.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that Sephiroth is all like offering potentially the white materia to Cloud and shit?
This lines up with his theory that Genova is going to be masquerading as Aerith. And Cloud is going to be seeing Aerith when it's really Genova / Sephiroth. It's a wild theory, and I bet that's the case.
From his perspective, he's seeing Sephiroth offering the white materia. I wonder what Cloud is seeing. If it's just the ultra commitment to being hella Gauge, or maybe just maybe he's seeing somebody else. Let's just go with it being hella Gauge. That's it. I don't know.
The remake series.
This shit is going to be so crazy.
Your very own.
Why is Sephiroth practically smiling like Aerith does in this shot?
Series.
Bro. Just hella Gauge.
That's so crazy, dude.
Of all months? Aerith. He's seeing Aerith. It's gonna be crazy.
Board
We shall
the
see.
Highwind, your very own airship and the pride of the Shinra fleet. You'll take to the skies and witness our most expansive open world yet. From the outskirts of Midgard to the sun-drenched Medial archipelago to the warrior nation of Wutai. Simply pick a direction and set sail. But how can you be expected to protect the whole world at once? You'll need to cover ground fast.
I am not jumping. No way, no how.
Don't worry. These parachutes are top of the line. Pull the cord and pop. You'll be floating through the air.
Aerith, but she comes back as Sephiroth was not on your bingo card.
Oh, I've seen her a few times.
I'll see you off.
All right.
Not in person, but
I want you to have an open mind. Okay.
wouldn't mind. Wouldn't mind seeing her in person.
Hold it. Slow turn.
Oh, what? Oh,
Hold it. Slow turn.
oh, that's crazy.
But really sold it. Slow turn. Smile.
Oh.
Does that not remind you of someone?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is gonna be so crazy.
They said I was crazy.
This is gonna be so crazy.
Won't represent the community anymore. They said he's a madman.
Like a feather.
I would never.
Dude, this is what I be saying, dude. I be telling motherfuckers. The past few years, I've been telling motherfuckers. The twist in the original FF7 is nothing compared to the twist that's going to be in this game. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who, I mean, it's not a spoiler, and at this point, it's barely even shocking. But dude, the twist this time around, it's going to be bonkers. If this whole Aerith coming back as Sephiroth / Genova, if that lines up, dude, I can't even.
Never have been so convicted to this if they didn't say that I was crazy. Damn, he says, rather than having something like multiple endings, they believe that conveying this is the correct story is more of a right approach for this game. This is the correct story. Oh boy, I love it. I love it how confident they are. Like, I love it, dude. This is, everything is about revealing what is happening. However, side elements that are not main story will change based on the player's choices. This is based on those choices. The gameplay, storytelling, and how characters' inner selves are portrayed can branch out quite drastically. Each character faces a final battle with their own motivations and feelings, and people's attachments to each character will differ from player to player and their own game experience. Amaguchi will consider Revelation DLC if there's a significant demand and requests from players for it after release. He says, including spin-off games released so far, they are open to consider ways to address requests for more details and exploring parts that haven't been depicted yet. Exploring parts that have not been depicted yet. This means not just Dirge, not just Advent Children. This means Bone Village, the DLC. He wants to get people to hands-on with the game. He mentioned events like Gamescom, PAX, TGS that are coming up in the not-so-distant future. Yeah, check it out, brother. Amaguchi says in a Famitsu interview that the FIT system has a job system, or sorry, has a skill tree where you actually level up the jobs in the fits. If you decide to have another character wear that fit, the abilities carry over. Start from scratch. Battle director Endo specifically wanted to design it this way. So your jobs level up. I wonder if they level up and give you like permanent upgrades, like interchangeable upgrades. I wonder if this eventually leads to like a specialist class, right? Where you can sort of mix and match. That would be bonkers.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Like passives and shit.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Bonkers. There will not be chocobos with region-exclusive abilities. Instead, there's a chocobo companion called Pico who will learn different abilities as they grow. Oh, thank Christ.
That's cool. And that's some quality of life time-saving shit right there,
No
yo.
more like your chocobo only does this here. Oh, thank God. No chocobo breeding. No, they're taking out chocobo breeding. Instead, they're making it a Pico evolution game where Pico gets abilities. Pico learns from other chickens and shit. Maybe you still have to go get other chickens. They talk about other chocobos than Pico. FF7 Revelations Gold Saucer will be a Queen's Blood paradise, director confirms. All the new minigames that'll be included with the Gold Saucer is actually going to be a new piece of narrative being told in the area. Shout out to Polygon for getting this. The way the story unfolds is going to be quite interesting. I'm actually dying to tell you more about it, but for obvious reasons, I think it's going to be better if we keep it for the future. The main story will not be connected to the Gold Saucer, but there is going to be completely new narrative told within this area. The Gold Saucer was separated into different squares. Wonder Square that had G-Bike, snowboarding, other under construction rebirth. What's going to happen in that area in Revelation is that due to immense popularity of Queen's Blood, the square has been completely taken over by Queen's Blood. All of that area is just going to be Queen's Blood content. That's right. There was a ton of Queen's Blood on the opposite side. There was a little QB area, like a tiny one, the Blood Square. Oh my God. I wanted to ask about Vincent, as his backstory is only vaguely hinted and explored in Dirge. I know you've already said Deep Ground characters will be returning. Are Vincent's backstory elements, like in Dirge, something we're going to see in Revelation? We can't delve too much into the storyline just yet, but thinking of spin-offs you mentioned like Dirge, our overall concept of Revelation is a pick up from those stories. So with characters like Vincent and Zack, those are explored. We just can't say how much. Just take the shit in Dirge that doesn't suck ass. And
I know you've already said deep ground characters will be returning. Are Vincent's backstory elements like in Dirge something we're going to see in Revelation? We can't delve too much into that storyline just yet, so yes. They've asked him about stuff that's going to be in the game, and he says, like, no, that's not going to, he said no to stuff like that before. But we're talking about character development and story here, so he's not going to reveal a whole lot about that. But I believe that the answer to that question is yes.
like expand upon it and make it not suck ass. Like deep ground shit can be kind of cool. You've already done that. Let's just do it and have it not suck. Like there's already Dirge shit all over part 1. Like Weiss and Nero and stuff, but it's handled well. It doesn't suck ass. The Yuffie DLC is all about it.
I mean, all they did was make Nero not the brains of the operation. He's just a lackey, a really tough lackey, but just a lackey. Weiss is a VR fight, and a very tough VR fight, and really fun once you master it.
That's Dirge shit, dude. Revelation director Hamaguchi reveals in an interview with RPG Site that there will indeed be revelations on what is the relationship between Rufus and Glenn, and how that ties to other spin-off works. Damn, they're tying in the mobile game shit? Here's a meltdown one. Director says whether it is still the case that the 7 Remake series is going to link to Advent Children. A previous notion with Nomura and Kitase, right? Hamaguchi says he does not believe they have ever publicly said it's going to do that. His full quote, I don't think we've publicly claimed or stated it's going to be exactly that. So I'd like for players to play Revelation to see for themselves.
He did say something about part 3 linking up to Advent Children. Not saying it's going to lead into it, but it's going to sync up with it somehow. Those were his words. So he's probably playing coy like always.
What the conclusion of the journey holds, and find out. GameSpark mentions that if Revelation deviates too much from the OG, there's going to be backlash. However, if it doesn't, then the meaning of remake will be lessened. As such, how does the team find balance?
Max said it himself, and he was right on the money when he said it. Remake isn't what the game is, but the intentions of certain characters. You read the title, Remake, and you just automatically think they're remaking the original game. But in the first, within the first hour or so, it should be plainly obvious that they are not remaking it. It's not a real remake. And then once you start learning about whispers, you go, oh, it's TVA shit. They're there to preserve the timeline or the world. We thought it was timelines at the time, but it's multiple worlds. It's multiverse shit. It's multiverse shit. This is Nomura's version of a multiverse. In essence, it's a multiverse story. And the best way to comprehend what's going on with this is to just think of the entire remake series of being set in a world that looks like the original game, but it's not. Because the original game already happened. That's a whole other world. It happened already. So the best way you could retell the story of Final Fantasy VII without overwriting the save file, so to speak, is to just set it in another world. Maybe that's not the most original thing, and that's maybe one criticism I have of it. Multiverse stories aren't inherently original anymore, but if you're going to remake something, that's not really a remake. The only real course you could really go to is set it in another world, another reality, a different continuity. That's what they're doing. It's the easiest way to put it. It's not confusing. It's not inherently confusing at all.
Damn, that's a good question. Hamaguchi says you'll have to play the game to find out. Yeah. He goes on to mention that every character in the game has their own fans who love the story and the characters for 30 years. It's almost like it's the whole fucking point, chat, right? It's almost like these questions that we have been promoting since the first game 6 years ago was the whole point of like, wait a minute, is this shit? Could it be? Maybe it is. Look at this. Look at that. It's almost like it's the whole fucking point of the entire series. This is why we want to strongly deliver something that makes fans feel like they're following the characters in the world was worth it all this time. I'm even happier after reading that shit. Just getting clarification. Like, it almost feels like they talked about too much. Like, there has to be a realization. But are they? Or is this just the beginning? If they're willing to talk so much about this shit, then maybe this is actually the beginning. And get the fuck ready for, like, everything else.
Oh, jeez, I can't wait, dude. Oh my God, I cannot wait, man. That's why I fuck with Max, bro. He loves this shit. He's got realistic expectations for this kind of stuff. Has been for the past 6 years. Ever since the shit first popped off, he's very passionate about it. He loves this shit. He's got reasonable expectations. I've been following him every step of the way for this shit. Well, not every step of the way, because it was announced in 2015. And if you've been following the channel for a while now, I wasn't aware that Final Fantasy VII was getting a remake. Was not aware of that until months before it was set to release. And that's when I got the PS4, got remake, was blown away. And it just keeps getting better. Every time people talk about this shit, it just keeps getting better and better.